Baby boomers, don't let decisions be taken away from you. My mom, she's written a letter to you based on her experience as I walked right alongside her, learned from the mistakes that we made. My mom wrote 2 letters after I shared what happened when I had to clean out both my parents' homes. The first letter was to adult children explaining why baby boomers struggle to let go and how to help with dignity. If you haven't watched that, it's linked in the description. But this second letter, it's different. This is the one to her fellow baby boomers. It's a warning from someone who's been exactly where you are right now. Here's the letter from my mom to baby boomers everywhere. Now, real quick, if you're a baby boomer watching this and you know you need to start planning but don't know where to begin, I can help. Book a free 30-minute strategy call, no pressure. We're gonna figure out where you are, what your timeline actually looks like, and create a plan that lets you do this on your terms with your dignity intact. Zero pressure, links below. And if you're an adult child trying to figure this out with your parents, do the same. Book, let's talk. Boomers, here's what my mom wants you to know. Dear fellow baby boomers, I am one of you, and I need to tell you what happens when we wait too long to plan. I know you're putting this off. I know the thoughts running through your head right now. I'm not ready. I'm still healthy. I have time. My situation is different. I'll deal with it when I have to. I said all those things too, and 1 week after my husband passed away, I fell and broke both ankles. And suddenly I had 7 days to move out of my house because I couldn't afford to stay there alone. 7 days while sitting in a wheelchair, unable to walk, unable to touch my own belongings, unable to make the choices about my own life. I'm writing this letter because I don't want you to experience what I experienced. I don't want your kids to have to go through what my kids went. And I don't want you to carry the regrets that I'm carrying now. So let me tell you what I learned from someone who thought she had it all figured out. 2 years ago, I was you. I had a house full of stuff, 3 bedrooms, a garage, closets packed with clothes I hadn't worn in years, boxes in the attic I hadn't opened in decades. Every room held memories. Every item had a story. My kids, they would visit and gently suggest, Mom, maybe you could start going through some of this stuff. And I'd say, I will eventually. I'm not ready yet. I wasn't being stubborn. When I really examined myself, I was scared. Because decluttering my house meant admitting I might not be able to live there forever. It meant facing the reality that I was getting older. It meant thinking about things I didn't want to think about. So I put it off. 1 more year, 1 more season. I'll do it next summer when I have more time. I also watched my son Weldon go through something with his dad that should have been a wake-up call for me. His dad passed away, and because there were no conversations beforehand, no written wishes, nothing labeled or documented, Weldon lost items that he'll never get back. Not expensive things, meaningful things. Pieces of his childhood, connections to his father. I watched him grieve those losses and I thought, that won't happen to me. I'll make sure my kids know what matters. But I never actually did it. I never wrote anything down. I never had the conversation. I just kept thinking, I had time. Fellow baby boomers, if this sounds familiar, keep listening. Because what happened next changed everything. Then this happened. My husband's health started to decline. I knew we might need to make changes eventually, but eventually felt far away. Then he passed. 1 week later, I fell down the stairs and broke both ankles. Suddenly, eventually was now. I couldn't afford to stay in that house alone. The rent was coming due, the lease was ending, and I physically could not stand up, could not walk, could not pack a single box. 100 bags of stuff went out to the dumpster or Goodwill. 40 bags of documents had to be shredded. Furniture I had for decades, it couldn't fit in the new place. 3 bedrooms condensed down to 1 bedroom with no storage. And I sat there watching. Unable to help, unable to touch my own things, unable to make choices because of time. My kids would hold up an item, Mom, keep or donate. Sometimes I couldn't even remember why I'd kept something. Sometimes I knew it mattered, but there was no time to explain. Sometimes I wanted to keep something, but there was no room. Furniture, it won't fit, Mom. Gone. My husband's tools in his workshop. We only have 7 days, Mom. Packed or donated in minutes, not days. Family photos, letters, cards for my kids over the years, sorted in a rush because the clock was ticking. Here's what nobody tells you about crisis downsizing. You lose the gift of choice. My kids made decisions with love and respect. They did their absolute best under impossible circumstances, but they were still decisions of theirs, not mine. And then there's the part that breaks my heart. Sitting in that wheelchair watching my son and daughter pack up my life is something I will never forget, and it didn't have to be that way. I could have started decluttering 5 years earlier, just 10% a year. By the time crisis hit, we would have had 50 less bags than the 100 that got taken out. I could have labeled things that mattered. This was grandma's, please keep it. 30 seconds. Could have saved hours and guilt for my kids. I could have written down what I wanted, not a legal document, just notes. Here's what mattered. Here's who should have this. Here's what would make me feel okay about downsizing. I could have had conversations with my kids. If something happens, here's what I'm afraid of. Here's what I'd need. Here's how you could help me. But I didn't do any of that because I thought I had time. And when crisis hit, I didn't just lose control of my belongings, I lost dignity. I lost the chance to make my own choices. I lost the opportunity to do this on my own terms. And here's the part that breaks my heart. I had watched my son lose precious items from his dad's house because there were no conversations, no planning, nothing written down. I saw what that cost him. And then I did the same thing. Different circumstances, same problem. I waited too long. Fellow baby boomers, here's what I need you to hear. You still have the choice that I lost. You can wake up tomorrow and start making decisions while you're in control. You can have conversations while you're still healthy. You can write things down while your mind is clear. You can ask for help before you desperately need it. I can't do that anymore. My chance was gone in that instance. But yours is not. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Not next year, not when you're ready, but this week. Start decluttering. Not everything, just start. One closet, one drawer, one shelf. Get rid of things that you haven't used in 5 years. Things that you're keeping just in case that you'll never actually need. If you get rid of 10% this year and 10% next year, by the time you actually need to move, you'll have 50% less to deal with. Your kids will thank you. You'll thank yourself. Write things down. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a formal estate plan, though those are good. But just write, here's what matters to me. Here's who I want to have this. Here's what I'm afraid of about downsizing. Here's what would help me feel okay about this transition. My son had no idea what mattered to me because I never told him. Don't put your kids in that position. Have the conversation with your kids. I know it's hard. I know it feels like admitting you're getting old. I know you don't want to burden them. But here's what I learned. Not having the conversation is the real burden. When crisis hits and my kids had to make decisions in the dark, that was a burden. When they had to guess what I would have wanted, that was a burden. When they lay awake wondering if they honored my life correctly, that was a burden. Tell your kids, I know I need to start thinking about this. Here's what scares me about it. Here's what I'd need from you if the time comes. Here's what would make me feel safe, comfortable. That conversation, as hard as it is a gift to them and you. And here's what I want you to know. You are not alone in this. I know it feels overwhelming. I know you don't know where to start. I know every time you think about it, you feel paralyzed. That's exactly how I felt. And that's why I'm telling you, ask for help before you're in crisis. My son Weldon, the one who had to pack up my house in 7 days, the one who lost precious items from his dad, he's a transition strategist now. He helps families plan these transitions before crisis forces their hand to do so. He's applying decades of military experience, decision making, leading and guiding people. And here's what he's told me after everything happened. Mom, if you just asked for help a year earlier, we could have done this together. on your terms, with your choices, with time to process and plan and make it what you wanted. And if you didn't want me there are professionals that could also help. And he was right. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to admit that this is hard. It's okay to say, I don't know where to start. What's not okay is waiting until your body makes the decision for you. What's not okay is leaving your kids to guess what you would have wanted. What's not okay is losing the gift of choice because you kept putting it off. You think you're protecting your kids by not burdening them now. You're not. You're setting them up to make impossible decisions under time pressure while wondering if they got it right. I know because I did exactly that. Not on purpose, but it's what I did. Do it when you still have the choice. That's the gift that you give yourself. That's the gift you give your children. Don't wait like I did. Start this week, one small step, one conversation, one bag of things that you don't need. Just start. Because dignity doesn't come from staying in your house forever. Dignity comes from making choices while you still can. I lost that chance. You haven't lost it yet. And I am thankful that I'd get another chance, but I did lose that first one. With the hard-earned wisdom and hope for you, Leslie, a fellow baby boomer who's learned these lessons so you don't have to. I'm incredibly thankful for the time my mom put into that letter, because it is critical that we make purposeful decisions, that we have purposeful plans and address the hard topics earlier rather than later, because what she said in there is true. It's difficult as the adult child. We want to honor your lives. However, when time and pressure are there, we're not able to make those optimal decisions. That's my mom's message to baby boomers everywhere. And she's right. You don't have to go through what she went through. You can make different choices. You can start planning now on your terms with your dignity intact. If you haven't watched my original letter to baby boomers or my mom's letter to adult children, and you'll see some similar themes, those are linked in the description below. Together, these 3 videos give you every perspective. Mine as the adult child, hers as the parent who lived it, and then this peer-to-peer warning from someone who's been exactly where you are. If you're a baby boomer and you're ready to start planning, or even if you just want to talk through what your options are, I can help. Here's how it actually works. First, we'll identify which phase you're actually in. Are you thinking about this for the first time? Have you been putting it off for years? Are you in crisis mode right now? Your starting point determines your strategy and how to move forward. Then, we're going to map out how to do this with dignity by coordinating with your family, your CPA, your attorney, those injection points, people, those professionals, because this isn't about rushing you into anything. It's about creating a plan so that when the time comes, you're in control, not crisis. And then third, we're going to figure out if real estate makes sense right now. And if so, exactly how to execute on your terms. If you're not in Colorado Springs, that's not an issue at all. I'll connect you with a trusted professional in your market through my nationwide referral network. It's what we do every single day as we help families. It's a free 30-minute strategic clarity session. You'll walk away with a clearer path forward and a plan you can actually execute, whether that's starting to declutter now, this month, having conversations with your kids, or mapping out a timeline for the next year. My information, it's in the caption below. You're going to see a link to my calendar. Set up a time that works for you. You're not in this alone, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. I'm Weldon Hobbs, transition strategist, project management professional, certified financial coach, and a real estate professional serving people across the country just like you. If this was helpful, hit that subscribe button. I post multiple times a week navigating life transitions, optimizing wealth outcomes, and then executing real estate strategy that works. If you have questions about downsizing or another life transition, set up time to call, send me an email, and maybe I'll just do a video about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.